One should not forget we have a lot of the spirit of federalism. That spirit has to be taken care by the center, and also, of course, states also we have to remember that while planning many things.
Among the many states that have raised concerns around issues of worsening center state relations, Telangana has been at the forefront. It has raised consistently issues of fair share of in devolution of taxes or a fund crisis in the implementation of central schemes, and even social redistribution strategies of how they want to implement. And it has differed with the center on a range of issues. And the Congress leadership in Telangana has been constantly been at the forefront to talk about these issues and alert the center of to and have demanded a better share of taxes, and they have raised pertinent issues of how they could implement their own social welfare schemes. And among all the critics, we the name of Mallu Bhatti Vikramarka is one of the most prominent. He can be seen many times talking in great detail about what are the issues that they have faced while governing Telangana in the last few years. He is with us today and will be talking about all these issues. Sir, how do you assess the center state relations ever since you have joined the government here or been elected to power?
See, ours is a parliamentary democracy. It's one should not forget we have a lot of the spirit of federalism. That spirit has to be taken care by the center, and also, of course, states also we have to remember that while planning many things. But unfortunately, that on the name of one nation, one taxation, the more and more the concentration of powers and the tax collected money is having a lot of impact on the states of not having their own plans and their own designs. While respecting the center, the states also has to design of their own schemes, because each state is having its own demographical conditions, or weather conditions, geographical conditions, cultural conditions, and resources are also varies from one state to the other state. So one state, for example, if you take Kashmir, an extreme cold, if you take some other southern state, it has its own weather conditions like hot. So the same scheme, if you design for both the states, it won't serve the purpose. So that's where the government of India has to think while instead of designing on their own about the centrally sponsored schemes, that amount can be earmarked and given it to the states to design the schemes which are suitable to them. Then, so that the money can be properly spent. Otherwise, you are designing the schemes unilaterally, and those schemes are applicable to all the states on the same lines.
So a lot of them were arguing that states like Telangana or Karnataka, they pay a lot more to the central pool while getting. So some economists said that okay, if Telangana gives 100 rupees, they get back only 35 rupees back in the devolution scheme. So what would be the ideal?
That's what in fact. You might have seen the number of economists' statements also. Whatever you are giving from the state, you have to get the same to the extent of 5% this side, that side, to the extent of that same share to come back, expects you to come back to the state proportionately. Yeah. But unfortunately, when you are giving 100 rupees, you are getting only 35 rupees. It definitely leads to a lot of heartburn. So that is where we have represented number of times also to the government of India, see to that, whatever you are pooling, whatever you are contributing, see to that we get the same amount, equal amount, so that there will not be any, heartburn and all.
And there's a certain issue that has popped up from Telangana, where the leadership is trying to say that the number of central schemes like Ayushman Bharat or many other, in which the state government also has to kind of pull in a certain bit, and because of the high debt burden, many in the Congress say that it's very difficult to kind of implement the central schemes when you have your own social welfare schemes. What do you have to?
See, there should not be any duplication of schemes also. That is where, in the beginning itself, I made it very clear. Some of the states, they have designed their own schemes, they are implementing. The same scheme with a less impact, if you want to design and ask the states to implement it. So people will not take it because they have a better scheme than the scheme what you have designed. So they have been enjoying that. Suddenly if you ask the people, are the states, they stop the better scheme and joins with the center scheme, which is not as exactly what they have been doing earlier. So people will not be happy. So that is where I am telling the center.
Where do you?
So you better leave it to the states. Let the state design of their own requirements. Some of the states are, they require much more money to be spent on education. Some of the states, they require much more money to spend on health and education. Some of the states where they are required to spend more on infrastructure, more on, industry, more on other agricultural activities, other social welfare activities. So it varies from state to state, because each state is having a different geographical conditions and different languages, different culture. So those things, makes you to design the schemes which suits to them, by which they can grow. So the center should understand that, should allow them to do it. For example, Telangana state is there. We have a scheme called Rajiv Arogyasri. See, in this scheme, each family, eligible family, will get nearing about worth of 10 lakh rupees in a year. A family can go and get the benefit of worth of 10 lakh rupees of the treatment or the operational expenditure, for health in a year. So it is a big scheme. And we have been implementing it for quite a long time. In between, of course, yes, when the TRS was there, they could not do it properly. But now again, it was there, earlier when we started, it was 5 lakhs. And now we made it into 10 lakhs.
So are you saying that implementation of central Ayushman Bharat would be a duplication?
No, not like that. That Arogyasri, what we are implementing, is much better than this.
Ayushman Bharat, yeah.
Much wider, that is 10 lakhs worth of. They can go to any, not only in government hospital, they can go to even corporate hospitals also to get it done. The up to 10 lakh rupees for each family in a year.
So
Like
it's
that, other schemes are there for us.
So you would like to focus on your own state. You would like to focus on your state schemes.
Yeah.
What were you saying? Example?
For example, like, Indirama housing is there.
Yes, Indirama.
For a, homeless people, we are spending nearly about 5 lakh rupees for a house. So we have been doing that in our state.
Yeah. And the central scheme is much lesser than that. Yes. The PM Awas Yojana. Yes.
So you know the cost, how much they are giving.
So you have to pull in an additional.
So you must appreciate the people, the respective states, what they are doing, which is suitable to their own state. You give your share and let them design and plan, and you monitor whether they are spending for that or not. That's
it doesn't make fiscal sense also. And also, so recently Jairam Ramesh, the Congress spokesperson, alleged that there were two companies, semiconductor companies, one in Karnataka which was forced out of Karnataka to set up its factory in Gujarat, and one which wanted to come to Telangana but was forced out to Andhra Pradesh. So, what could you elaborate on?
As you all aware, Hyderabad, Telangana is much suitable for the all software industry, weather-wise, human resource-wise, and it is a hub for the software also. And also of the semiconductor kind of an industry. For many decades, Fab City was there, chip manufacturing, people have been discussing, thinking about it and all. Now suddenly, the people who are trying to come to set up their semiconductor plant there, suddenly you push it to some other state. So,
Yeah. So why do you think this has happened? Is political reasons or some other reasons?
obviously the other states, you have your own interests, so you are pushing them as against the interest of the Telangana, which is not correct. Telangana is also a part of this country, and it's also contributing in a very well for the GDP of the state, the country.
So when I spoke with a few people from Telangana regarding this interview, all of them requested me to ask that there are two things which have kind of created some kind of mess in Telangana, which is one is Bhu Bharti and Hydra, which has kind of has made the real estate sector a little uncertain, and Bhu Bharti also, the land records are a bit confusing for people. So do you have any kind of response to that?
No. Bhu Bharati is much sought after by the people of Telangana. Because the then previous government, like TRS, people have bought Dharani kind of software, which has created a lot of chaos among the landowners of Pattadas. And even it's Telangana state, land holding is totally different from other states. And the land rights also got in a different ways in Telangana when you compare with other states. You might have heard, during the time of late 40s, 1940s till early 50s, like 1952, there was a movement called Peasants' Arms Struggle. Peasants' Arms Struggle. Farmers making a struggle, did a struggle with arms for the right on the piece of land, which was not there, which has not taken place anywhere in the part of
Telangana.
Only in Telangana. Yes. So successively after independence, Congress governments came. They have given a tenancy act. They brought Telangana Tenancy Act. Through that, the farmers got a right on the land who have been tilling. And also the land reforms, 70s. All these things is one aspect. The other aspect is that the previous governments have been successfully, brought out revenue records, maintained every year Jamabandi, like a revenue Sadasu, revenue meetings in each and every village once in a year, and updating the revenue records. Unfortunately, the TRS government has changed that earlier records and brought the Dharani. With that, the old landlords who were having much before the Land Reform Act, those landlords' names brought into land revenue records. And the people who got the land during those acts, their names have been removed. So in the process, there was utter confusion and chaos. So then we promised during the time of elections itself, saying that Dharani will be thrown in the Bay of Bengal, will bring out a better revenue act, and the overall administration also. So as we promised, we bought Bhu Bharati. We kept in the assembly, held a long discussions, debates. Then that Act has been brought. Now everything is trying to set right.
Right.
All right?
Hydra?
And Hydra, see, generally Hydra, somehow I don't know why people have, trying to spread a wrong on this. The Hydra is not only protecting the lands which have been occupied by unauthorized occupants. Lakes and parks are the assets of wealth of this city and the society. And lakes and parks are being knocked away by few individuals and constructed. As it is a great loss to the society itself. So the Hydra is kept it there to protect those lands which are meant for the society. So they are not doing any illegal thing. They are trying to protect the legal property of the society and the city. Apart from many other things are also they are doing. Like, traffic controlling, drainage or risk operations, disaster management, all of the things also.
So finally, sir, what is your government's priority in the next few years? I remember the Congress had promised a list of deliverables during the elections, some of which has been fulfilled, some of which has been not. So finally, in the next few years, what will be your priorities? Which sectors as a finance minister and also as the deputy CM?
See, our priority is education and health. These two things we are seriously focusing. And also, as you all aware, the Telangana state is more or less the city state. The urbanization is growing. So infrastructure also we are seriously concentrating, whereby it is generating the wealth also, the infrastructure. And it is leading to the service sector, software industry, pharma industry, and nutraceuticals, various other things, clusters we are all planning. So in the process, Mosi regeneration, like Thames River in London, how it has, given the life to the London city. On the same lines, luckily the Hyderabad city is having a river by name, Mosi. Unfortunately, it has been, people are now, they have been treating like a drainage.
Yeah.
But now we wanted to regenerate it and make the fresh water is flown in that. All along the Mosi River, the parks and development has to be taking place. So that we are trying to do it. Apart from that, one future city we are building there, where in the future city, AI technology, AI city, university, many other things, which all over the world, what all taking place, we are trying to build there. And as you all aware anyway, agriculture sector, we are giving Raitu Bharosa and bonus to the paddy cultivators for each quintal. Apart from the MSP, we are giving 500 rupees in addition to that as a bonus per quintal. Like, Indirama housing, already started with 5 lakh rupees for each household, nearing about 4,50,000 houses we have sanctioned. In each constituency, 3,500 houses already sanctioned. And free power to the agriculture pump sets, nearing about 29 lakh pump sets.
Yes.
And 200 units free power to the people who are below poverty line. Free power. And free bus ride for all the women of the state. And also 500 rupees gas cylinder. And fees reimbursement for the students. We are coming out with Young India Integrated Residential Schools. And each school with a campus of not less than 25 acres with an international standards, English medium, fully residential, including for the teaching staff also. That is going to be a game changer for the Telangana state. Those schools are going to be a role model for the entire country also. Skill University, all advanced technology centers. Like that, many things are taking place. Telangana is rising now.
But corruption was an issue in the previous government because of which people voted for you. Are you trying to plug? Have you been successful to
we are streamlining everything.
Yeah.
We are streamlining everything, whereby nothing can be pilferage is taken place.
Thank you so much, sir, for speaking with The Wire. That was Mallu Bhatti Vikramarka, Deputy CM and Finance Minister of Telangana. Thank you. I'm Ajoy Ashirwad.